Thanks for coming out to the Fitch-Rona fire station, right? This is kind of our headquarters station out here in Fitch-Rona. So you got to do a little bit of a field trip on location for us. So love to show off. We've done them in the past, the funding we get from the state, right? So it's taxpayer dollars. Again, I always say thank you very much, right, to the governor and the legislature who provides that funding assistance for local EMS agencies, right, to help take that tax burden, right, from the local EMS agencies, our local municipalities, to help pay for stuff like this. So yeah, this is actually something we've kind of been eyeing up for a couple years. It's been on my wish list. It comes with a pretty big price tag. So, just trying to find that happy moment, but absolutely an asset to Fitch-Rona. So what does it do? It generates oxygen. So right here's where the need comes from, is we carry oxygen in our ambulances, right? We got one big tank that we can hook people up to from the ports in the walls, and then we have a bunch of little tanks, right, that we carry into the houses and we take with us. So we have two different size oxygen tanks. It's medical grade oxygen. So a couple things with that is, one is purity and humidity, right? That is very controlled versus like an SCBA firefighter uses. It's air, right? Again, controlled with humidity, but that is air. So this is 100%, we'll talk about not the 100%, right? But it's actually a lot more oxygen than room air, right? It helps our sick patients out. So currently we got to fill those tanks, and to do that we had to send them out, right? Found somebody in the local area, and there's a couple of people who do it, a couple of businesses that'll do it. Plan is, right, they come in 1 week, they pick up our tanks, they take them off, they fill them, and they bring them back. That seems to be a bit of a challenge, and as well as my neighbors, EMS neighbors here as well. It's just our buildings are secured, so access sometimes is a problem. We have a couple of busy weeks. We go through our tanks much quicker. There's a charge for all of that, and in addition to that, there's actually a delivery charge. Continue to look at that cost rising up, the logistics of getting these tanks filled and moved. We have 3 stations, right? 2 in Fitchburg, 1 here in Fitch-Rona. So what this does, right, an oxygen generator, we actually can fill our own tanks, which has been a huge asset for us. We've been up and running with this probably since about November. So this actually takes room air, and I'm not even going to come close to telling you how it works, right? We just call it magic. We'll look at the side here. I'm told it's the sieves, right? They actually pull the nitrogen out of the air. They take all that oxygen, concentrate it, and then spit it into a tank for us. So yeah, that's what this does. This is the smallest of the units that they make. It absolutely works for our needs. It's really a set it and forget it thing. This is actually, there's 2 compressors in there and 4 of those sieves, right, that pull the nitrogen out. They take and concentrate that oxygen. And then there's little 2 ports back here, or 2 cables back here. This is run into a manifold system. So what we do is we actually have these 4, these are considered H cylinders. All different size cylinders have different letters to them. So this system constantly keeps those 4 H cylinders full. From there then, we actually have a whip, we'll call it here, a whip on the end of this. We can actually then hook it up to our tanks and fill them up. So this is called an M tank. This is actually what is in all of our ambulances, is this size tank here. And then over here, these are called D tanks, right? So we carry D tanks and M tanks. So these are the little ones we carry into homes with us. That's the big one that's in the ambulance. So we actually have 2 different options here to fill these tanks for us. Because these tanks are full, we can actually take this whip, we'll actually directly hook this up to this big H, to our M tank. And then based on what we can do here because clearly we've got a lot more pressure and oxygen, we can actually fill that tank off of one of these big tanks. We can actually fill that really quick, throw it back on the ambulance, and by quick, within about 1 to 2 minutes, I can have that tank full. So we actually have spare tanks at all of our stations. Our current plan, right, at the beginning of the week, we go pick them all up, we bring them down here. We have different assignments every week for our chiefs here, and when it's our week to go pick them up, come down here. We spend, as you've just kind of talked about, not a whole lot of time, right, filling these tanks, and then usually on my way home, we go drop those tanks off. So yeah, that is how this works. Again, this has saved us the cost of somebody else filling our tanks, has caused saved that cost of that delivery charges that we've had to do. We've actually started to reach out to some of our neighbors as well, that there's the potential this can be a regional asset. In addition to, love the idea that this is self-sustaining, right? We are self-maintaining here. Should there be a natural disaster, right? We've got a generator in the station. Should we lose that contractor, right? That maybe that building goes down, those trucks go down, and we lose the company that fills our gas, we can continue to maintain our own oxygen supply, right? As long as I got the building, as long as I got the air, and as long as I got power to this system, we are self-sustaining and maintaining our own oxygen system. So yeah, it's been a huge asset that the state has given us that money. Price tag, roughly $65,000 for the unit. The cost of delivery alone, in about 5 to 6 years, the machine's gonna pay for itself. So yeah, it's been a great asset.